revealed Trump's biggest move amid major global power shift. Trump is secretly building a new powerful bloc to replace G7. Secretive G5 in making? Putin, Xi, Modi to lead? A major geopolitical shakeup may be underway, with new alliances, rising economies, shifting loyalties. The world's power balance is changing fast. The U.S.'s long-held hegemony is now at risk, and the U.S. President Donald Trump sees the shift and fears losing dominance. According to new explosive reports, Trump is quietly engineering a five-nation superbloc to overshadow and potentially replace the Western-controlled G7. What is more shocking is that Trump is looking to form a formidable alliance with U.S.'s two top adversaries, Russia and China. The reported alliance, the Core Five, or G5, would bring together the United States, Russia, China, India, and Japan. The idea was reportedly outlined in a longer, unpublished draft of the U.S. National Security Strategy released by the administration of President Donald Trump last week. According to the Defense One news portal, that version circulated before the White House published the unclassified document and reportedly proposed a new group dubbed the Core Five as a forum for dialogue among major powers outside the G7. Under the plan, the five-nation format would hold regular summits similar to the G7, each focused on a specific theme with Middle East security. The normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia in particular is said to be first on the agenda. The unpublished version reportedly lays out plans to downgrade Washington's role in Europe's defense, push NATO toward a tougher burden-sharing model, and focus with EU governments seen closer to the U.S. outlook, such as Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Poland. But the White House pushed back. Politico reported that the White House spokesperson Anna Kelly insisted that no alternative, private, or classified version exists beyond the official 33-page plan. The Kremlin, meanwhile, says it has seen no official proposal from Washington on any G5 plan. Is G7 losing importance? To some extent, yes. The G7's losing importance due to shifting global economics, internal divisions, and the emergence of larger forums like the G20 are increasingly overshadowing it. However, the bloc remains little relevant as it coordinates responses to crises like Russia's war in Ukraine, countering China's influence, even if its economic dominance shrinks at the moment. The Kremlin has long said that the group of seven nations no longer united the world's fastest-growing economies and therefore lost much of its relevance after the U.S. President Donald Trump said he would love to have Russia return to the group. In 1998, the G7, the US, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, and Japan was expanded to include Russia, but Moscow's membership was suspended in 2014 after Crimea's reunification with Russia. Trump has repeatedly said that removing Russia from the group was a big mistake, and that had Moscow remained at the table, the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022 might have been prevented. But Russian President Vladimir Putin said in an interview with India Today this month that Russia has no plans to rejoin the G7.
NATO is a different matter. Here, we are not demanding anything exclusive for ourselves. Firstly, there are general agreements stating that the security of one nation cannot be ensured at the cost of another's security. This is, as it were, the underlying principle. The theory isn't particularly clear, but I'm going to lay it out for you in a very simple and understandable manner. Now, people often say that every single state, and that includes Ukraine, possesses the inherent right to independently select its own method of self-defense and its own approach to guaranteeing its national security. Isn't that correct? Am I not right?
Are we denying Ukraine this? No, but this cannot be done at the expense of Russia's national security. Ukraine wie
for its part, believes it is in its best interest to join NATO. However, we maintain that this poses a direct threat to our own security. Let's find a way that pause ensures your safety, but it also won't threaten us. We simply insist that the promises made to us are fulfilled.
We didn't just come up with this idea yesterday.
Indeed.
This was promised to Russia, to the Soviet Union back in the 90s. Not a single inch eastward. It was stated publicly. After that, there were several waves of expansion, and eventually they got to dragging Ukraine into NATO. This doesn't just displease us, it's a direct threat to us. Let's not forget that NATO is a military political bloc. And Article 5 of the Washington Treaty on NATO's creation, as far as I know, has not been repealed. This is a threat to us. Why do they call themselves, the G7?
What's so significant about that, really? Well, consider this. India's economy, when we look at purchasing power parity, actually ranks third in the entire world. But then, where do countries like Great Britain even stand when it comes to purchasing power parity?
Done?
What are they occupying 10th place or something? The trend is what it is. It will continue by all accounts. At least because of that completely, well, to put it mildly, in my opinion, erroneous economic policy that many authorities of these countries are pursuing. Well, recession in Germany is evident for the third year running. In France, the situation is difficult, also on the brink of recession. The same applies to other leading European countries. At some point, I simply stopped traveling there, and this was not connected to the events in Ukraine. It was related to other events entirely. I won't be going into the specifics right now. Incidentally, we have already informed our American partners about this. This is a platform that may continue to operate, God granted. But other major international associations are forming. There's SEO, BRICS, and the G20 continues to operate. We participate everywhere. We approach all of this with absolutely no confrontation. What are Russia's relations with European countries now?
Yes, we can see they are so obviously not normal. But how? How can you even begin to picture that? Will they come to this one, to the number 8? And how will I talk to the members of this G8 group if they don't want to speak with me? Oh, no? Well, what exactly am I supposed to do then? Oh, if that's what they want, then fine, we'll just have to talk about this topic again later. The fact remains, new centers of development are forming, rapid, powerful development. These are the nations of the global south. These are South Asia, India, and not just India. Indonesia is rising rapidly there. Africa is already developing quickly and will grow even faster. A very young population, a truly young population. The future belongs to these people. They will all be striving to attain a much higher standard of living. And this, I tell you, is simply inevitable. The pace of change within the global economy will only continue to accelerate.
Within these major associations, such as BRICS, for example, or the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we share a common understanding that what truly unites us is
values connected with our traditional values, on the basis of which our civilizations have existed for hundreds and perhaps thousands of years, like for example the Indian civilization. And we, building upon this foundation which we inherited from the past, we endeavor to move ahead by uniting all our efforts instead of employing mechanisms that suppress these valuable opportunities. And when you start combining efforts, the overall result synergistically turns out unexpectedly good, unexpectedly high. And that's exactly what we're thinking about in these associations. You know, there's no need to rush, make haste slowly. And then you won't be making any gross mistakes. We don't currently have such a goal, for example, within BRICS, the creation of a single currency. This is a calm process, and we need to move towards it. We need to expand the possibilities of using national currencies. We've already mentioned that. We need to use them more and more widely. We need to make wider use of the BRICS new development bank's capabilities at our initiative right now, and this is at our initiative. During my visit, a relevant exhibition will be set up there. Our importers from India, the importers. This, I'll tell you honestly, was my direct instruction to the government of the Russian Federation to consider what else we could purchase from India. India and China are indeed our closest friends. No? We truly value this very much, and we do not consider ourselves to have the right to interfere in the bilateral relations between India and China. But I know both Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping and his counterparts strive to find solutions to all, even the most complex interstate issues. Both leaders are concerned with growing tension, and they put in maximum effort, I see it, I simply know it, to find solutions to all these problems. And crucially, they managed to do it.